could it actually work if an owner is more part-time or maybe not even on the leadership team? They're an owner of the business, but they're not in a full-time management role in the business. Is that actually possible? Have I seen that before? So will you give me a thumbs up? You can do the direct message just to make sure I have that question right. Not getting feedback. Yes. Okay. A clap even. Okay. Amazing. So yes. Have I seen this? Is it possible for a second or third or fourth generation, or I don't know, maybe even a first generation to have a part-time role or not be a leader in the business, but also have ownership? Here's my short answer. Yes. Absolutely yes. And here's my more words on that response. In the most healthy family business, if a family member is working inside of the business, they're doing a job that they absolutely, it just comes natural to them. So in EOS language, we would say they get it. But another way to say that is this job is just, it just makes sense to them. They also have to want the job. They have to want to be in the role. They can't be forced to do it, or can't feel like, oh, it's too little or puny or too big or too much. And then they have to have the capacity, meaning the intellectual, emotional, physical, spiritual ability to do the job and the time to do the job. And in EOS, we call that capacity, but not everybody on this call is an EOS person, nor do they need to be an EOS person. So when a family business runs in that really healthy way where everybody on the team gets the job, wants the job, has the capacity, inevitably in a family business, you'll have a person in the next generation who their ideal role isn't on the leadership team or it isn't full-time. To me, that's A-okay, because running a great family business means everybody in the business, or at least 80% of them, are absolutely in the right seat. Period. Next paragraph. There are lots of people who believe that you can't be a good owner if you're not working full-time or more than full-time or running the business. And I say that's bananas. And this is what I mean by that. You can live in a home, care for a home, take good care of a home, enjoy living in the home, and not own it. You can absolutely own a home and treat it badly, or not own a home and treat it badly. Those are two separate things. I hope I made sense when I said that. I'm trying to take business and use a home as the metaphor here. So there are people who live in homes but rent them and take very good care of them. There are also people who own homes and live in them and treat them poorly. It's also then possible to own a home but not live in it full time. I hope that metaphor is helpful. I often think it is helpful to take these concepts outside of the business, because you stick a business in there and then all of a sudden there's all these reasons to think about it in a complicated way. If you just think about home ownership or owning a car, you can own a car but not be the driver of the car. You can be the owner of a home but not be the one who lives in it or not live in it all the time. It means you need specific communication as an owner about what's going on in the business. You don't have to be there day to day today or all the time or on the leadership team to do it. Let me give you an example of what I'm talking about. I personally know a family. I don't know exactly how many people are owners in the next generation, because there are a lot of people in the third generation. Like, I think there are more than 80. And I can never keep track of who's now aged into the ability to have ownership. But I'm going to make up a number here. I bet the latest number is close to 40 of them are owners. They are not all employees in the business, and they certainly are not all leading the business, because there's 40 of them. You can't have 40 people on a leadership team of a business. That just doesn't work. So there are people, let's call it 40 of them. Some of them work in the business. Some of them are more like a frontline employee. None of them are actually on the leadership team. They have hired a professional leadership team to run the company. Running the company, working in the company, and being owners are actually three separate skills and abilities. There's a certain set of abilities that it takes to work in a business. There's another different set of skills and abilities that it takes to run the business. and a whole different set of skills and abilities to be an owner in a business. Those are distinct things. So I'm giving you a whole bunch of words and a couple of different ways to explain why I absolutely have seen and believe it is awesome if you have owners who are owning the business, who are not necessarily full-time or running the day-to-day of the business. It absolutely can work. The only way it works, though, is this. You must have really excellent in the business meetings, and then you must have really excellent ownership meetings. You can't have owners who are not running the business be great owners without great ownership meetings. You must have great ownership meetings in order to have any owners who aren't in the day-to-day of the business. I know I said a lot of words that sounded circular. I hope that landed. I hope that made sense.